Hey y'all.
Welcome to Tailgate Talk. We hadn't done it in a while because the weather's been horrible. So we're going to try to get started again with it.
Right now it's so pretty.
It's not Sunday, but we don't know how the weather's going to be tomorrow, so we're going to try it now.
Yeah, we're sweating bullets. We were outside, so excuse my looks. I ain't going to wear no makeup right now. Here comes Macie. She wants to say something. Alright, what is it? Hey y'all. Go jump.
Are our biggest friends ever.
Y'all are biggest friends ever. This might be a tearjerker type video, so if you got kids watching and you don't want to see adults cry, well, we might cry, or I might. But we've been wanting to do this video about how we're doing. As many of you, I don't know if any of y'all know, the new viewers, new subbies, that we are a family of 9. We have 7 children, and ranges from, our oldest is Maddisen. She would have been 13 this year. Our twins, Levi and Mackenzie, are just turned 11. We have a son, a little girl named Lexie. She's 7. And we have a son named Lawsen. He's 5. A little girl named Macie. She's going to be 4. And a new baby, Liam. He'll be having his first birthday. But as you don't know, we lost our daughter last year, Maddisen, to a severe asthma attack. And we're just trying to spread the word about how you should watch your children if they got asthma. We never would have thought we would have lost our daughter. She had a severe asthma attack October 21st last year. She started her school year sick and stayed sick. Didn't go to school but a couple of days. And she was an avid book reader. She could be out of school and then make straight A's going back because she keep up with her work. If you want to tell y'all if your child has asthma or you think they have asthma, go get them allergy tested. It's painful to watch your child to get allergy tested. At least it was for my daughter, because it burns, it itches, and they cry, and it hurts, them. But you need to get it done. My daughter's allergic to several things. A lot of people don't know that you need to have a pulmonologist too. You need to check for cystic fibrosis or other pulmonary conditions. We wanted to get her tested again for other stuff, but we didn't have a chance to. But get them tested for other things. Make sure you have an EpiPen. A lot of asthma-related children that have severe asthma have allergies. Basically what happened to our child, she was taking a treatment. We went outside to play with our other children, and we didn't go in right away because we were airing up tires for bikes. And when I went back in, she was leaning against the wall. She told me she couldn't breathe. And I came in and she had, her lips were going blue and her fingernails were blue. I knew she wasn't getting oxygen. And she passed out, and I had to get him in, and she passed out right after he came in. And all I could think was CPR. She had EpiPen, but I couldn't think of to use the EpiPen at the time. All I think is about helping her breathe. He called 911. Unfortunately, it took almost 15 minutes for 911 to get to our home. And I don't know if people know, you can't go really 3 to 5 minutes without oxygen. 10 minutes, you could survive without oxygen before you get brain damage. And she went 14 minutes. And then when they got there, it's probably another 10 minutes. And she still really didn't have oxygen until they intubated her, because she threw up during this process. They had to clear her throat and intubate her. And they drove to the hospital. And on the way to the hospital, they were trying to get her to breathe. She wouldn't breathe. CPR. And in the end, basically, she had 2 cardiac arrests because she went too long without oxygen. You need to be quick, mamas and daddies, because you have less than really 5 minutes and less than 10 before they really start to get, lost. Sorry. We want to tell y'all it's still hopeful. It's almost been a year.
She brought a towel, not a box of tissues. A towel.
A towel, because it's going to suck them up. But you can't lose hope and you can't lose faith. And as a parent, I blame myself for not going in sooner. But you're only human. You wish you could save your child, because that's your job, to protect your children. And I couldn't protect her. I couldn't save her. And it was sad because our other children were home. It was a weekend and they saw their sister. pass away. But
And I had to take them outside and just tell them to pray for her right now. And I prayed for them, and I told them to ask Jesus to heal her. Well, he did. He healed her the way he needed to heal her.
And I'm on my knees. I fell on my knees on the porch. Said, oh God, please help her. Please,
So
Jesus.
he did.
I didn't want her to die. You know, it would have been, you know, good if I could have kept her home, had her back, but I didn't want her to die. But he helped her in a different way. She was really suffering from asthma.
We should have lost her when she was born.
We were told when she was born that she'd be a vegetable.
Because she had pneumonia.
She had pneumonia when she was born. A lot of people I've talked to, same thing. Pneumonia when you're born. Asthma symptoms show up at 3 years old. It gets worse at 9. And it continues to get worse. But I wrote something. I don't know if I'll get through it, but I'll try. Just for moms that are suffering a loss or any loss. May it be before they're born in your belly, or you miscarried, or stillborn, or a child that you've lost way too soon. Now, this is how I feel, and I know other mothers feel this way. This is what I wrote. There are days that I'm okay living with it, but barely at times. I stay to myself. I take care of the house, family. That's what keeps me alive. It's what keeps me smiling, keeps me breathing, because that's what my babies, they keep me from worrying so much or dwelling on it too much. If she was our only child, I don't know how I would have got through it. I would have felt dead inside all the time if we didn't have other children that smile and keep us alive. But there's times that we feel like we're not here, like we're living a dream, like it's all been a dream, almost like we dreamt her up. I don't know if some parents feel that's lost a child. Not that we know she was there, it's just feel like we dreamt her up because she's been gone. Now it's been almost a year. I feel like she's been gone so long that she was just a dream, and now we're living the nightmare that we can't get her back. That's what it kind of feels like sometimes. But we're happy where she is. It's hard to be here without her. It'll be a year next. Maddisen Goss, our sweet girl, went to heaven. I try to, but I have asked God why. But you know, you're human. Even when my head knows the answer, my heart don't want to believe it. Other mamas that go through a loss and miscarriage, stillborn, or a child that dies before you, just know that you're not alone, that there's other mamas out there that are having the same problems. We want you to pray for yourself, and pray for your spouse, and pray for others, because my child had an asthma attack, but there's mothers watching their children die from cancer and just horrible diseases. It's sad. There's a mother that the child died right the day before mine. What was her name?
Her name was Sophie. She died
Sophie. She died of that D-pig brain tumor.
And they watched her die for
she got it in February and she died in October. And we talked to her daughter that day. We say, see, you know, y'all got to treat each other right, because you never know what might happen the next day.
She was on. And then a few years before that,
we had a
horrible crash.
Happened down the road from our home.
Our mama lost.
She lost 2 of her 3 children. Her
in
daughter.
A car accident. Instantly.
I heard it. It was horrible. And we prayed for that mother that day. Me, my daughter, and everybody in the family did. It was, you just can't, I can't fathom it. But
just know God always has a bigger plan for everybody, and each and every one of us. Whether you believe or not, He's in control.
I'd rather believe and know that my daughter's there waiting for me than to believe she just vanished. You know, there's something I don't want to believe in. But we want you to also pray for your spouse, your the father, and the grandparents, because they go through this too, and it's hard on them. Because you know, you're living older and you have a grandbaby that dies. It's hard. We want you to know that God is there for you, no matter what. You might think you're going crazy at times, and you hear someone talking to you, and it's just God, you know, saying, you know, I'm here. Don't lose faith in me. I'm here with you. Hear Him speak out to you in those moments of deep grief. Know He's there, hear Him, listen to Him, feel His comfort when you can feel like you can no longer move. That's what's hard. I've heard Him more recently than ever, because there's times I just have a heart. It's kind of like you kind of numb. You're still in this numbing process where you can't believe it, but then you have memories that pop up that kind of shock you back into reality. Hear Him say, know that I'm with you. I feel your pain. Know that I have great plans for you. No, do not lose faith in me, for I am with you always. We always know what to do when God says yes. You pray and you pray and pray, and oh, God gives you your prayers. He answers your prayers. He rewards you. But do not forget to thank God. You can't be greedy. Take your prayer, answer prayer, and then not go back and pray back to God. Thank you, Jesus, for helping us and doing this.
Although we miss our baby, we thank Him for those 12 years that we had her. We thank Him for letting us keep her.
I could have lost her the day she was born.
When she was born. We thank Him for the joy that she gave us and brought our family.
And her friends.
Her friends that we met. And her little sister that loved her. She taught how to speak like a teenager. She's a little 3-year-old.
A little 3-year-old could talk better than any 5, 6, 7-year-old. Me, my 7-year-old sometimes.
Not any, but some, you know. But
sometimes the way she says certain things.
It's definitely devastating. Daddy, I don't care how strong you are, how big a man you are, how tough you are. When you get hurt that bad, you're going to cry. And it's okay.
That was the hardest part.
I thought I was going to die that day in the hospital when they told me. And I told people to get away from me. I wanted to go with her. But they told me I need to stay for what I got here. That she was going to be okay where she was going. And I know that. But I have high blood pressure. But I have it.
I feel like it's going to pass out.
All the time I feel like that. I have a void.
He has anxiety, I think, from it all. Worse now.
And it stays like that. And the job I'm at now, that's where that's where I work, and I still feel like that. It's okay to grab your family and your wife, hug them, tell them you love them. Every day, every minute, every night. And she's crying, needs to be held. I don't care where you're at, in the store, in the yard, in the rain. Hold her.
Your babies, too, that go through it.
Because it hurts them little fellas, too. And for them to have to see that happening, they knew it wasn't good.
They asked us, they said, is she dying?
And I couldn't tell them.
We didn't know.
But I had to go outside
good.
with them while she worked on her. And I was waiting for the paramedics in the fire department.
And he meant I was doing CPR trying to save her.
And I wanted to be in there too, but I had to look after them. But I know Madison's with my mama up there. And I know my mama.
I know his mama probably fought with God. Told her, do not do this to my son, please.
Leave her.
And then I think after she was not responsive for so long, she told Maddisen to come on. She'd take her to heaven.
But Maddisen loved mama, so they're up there giggling and playing pranks on us and laughing at us when we do silly stuff. I know they are. They send us these little memories to make us smile and make us remember them.
Oh, Christmas was our first instance of, it was November. We found an angel tree right before Thanksgiving. Yep. And I said, well, so many people helped and donated to help pay for her funeral. We wanted to pick an angel off the angel tree. Well, I was looking at all the angel trees. Oh, I want an iPad, I want an Xbox. I'm thinking, Lord Jesus, kids, what? We just want to get something cute, toys or stuff. Well, I finally came across a girl who wanted an LOL surprise doll. At the time, I didn't know what that was. I thought she said, oh, surprise me with a doll. But anyway.
A bike.
Bike, clothes, shoes. I said, oh, I'll get this one. I didn't even look at it was a little girl. That's all I knew. It said girl because it shows a girl or boy. When I was walking off, I looked at the name. It took my breath away. The name was Maddisen.
And that sounds just like Maddisen. She was selfless, just unselfish.
Wanted bikes and just clothes.
We never thought about herself.
And another thing is we went, what was it? There's another chance. Well, the most recent, probably 2 recent stories was Mother's Day. I was having a really hard time that day. We went out to eat with my parents. My parents took me out to eat, rather, my mom. And we sat down, and Lexie, I was petting her hair, and her hair feels just like her sister's, Maddison's. I was just having a moment, and he says, well, it's going to take 45 minutes to sit here. I said, well, you know, I kind of want this certain plate. Let's wait. So we waited and waited, and he finally went up there and said, well, if it's not going to be too much longer, ask him. He said, 5 more minutes. I said, okay, we can wait 5 more minutes. Well, we were getting seated, and this little girl comes up to us, and she says, hey, I'm going to be your waitress today, your server today. My name is Maddisen. It hit me like a ton of bricks, and I cried. I'm like, okay, baby, I know you're here. That kind of felt good, just to hear the name. Because you don't speak your child's name, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard. You don't hear it often, and that hurts. But that was pretty rewarding. You know, when we don't always know what to do when God says yes. He'll reward you. Just don't forget to thank Him. But when God says no, we want you to pray even harder. Have your faith grow stronger, because without faith in God, there will be no rewards. There will be no yeses. Just because God said no now, and He has His reasons for that, doesn't mean that there's a bigger plan in the future for you. Keep the faith and always believe in miracles, because they can happen. And just don't lose sight in yourself. And it's tough not to have faith and not to worry and be down and depressed, because we do have our moments where we cry.
God gives us His strongest soldiers, the toughest battles. And by that I mean just the ones that are most faithful. I've had people all the time ask me, they tell me that they don't know how we're doing it, how we're getting through it, how we're staying as faithful as we are. Well, we have somebody up there looking after us that's got control of everything. The wind, the animals, the creatures, the grass. He has one of ours, one that He'd give us down here to take care of for 12 years. And He blessed us with 6 others. That's who I'm going to look to for my strength. He has the power to do anything in this world. He could take me right now if He wanted to. I'd gladly go. But that's who I look to. That's who I get my strength from. That's where my faith's going.
My faith don't go to the wind.
This beautiful woman beside me. Yeah. I give her a lot of credit too.
Pretty handsome herself.
I give her a lot of aggravation too. And she gives me all this gray.
I gave you all the gray. I think our children
but no,
did.
I got this here. I think I got most of this after the
He
fact.
got whiter after, and I did too.
But just remember, if you're watching this and you're not in this situation,
and you have questions about God,
and don't ever... I had somebody ask me one time, it was a gloomy, rainy day, and I was all bummed out and depressed, and just... Somebody I met at work, and they said, man, it looked like somebody just messed all in your breakfast and stuff.
No, you use
I
different
said,
words,
no.
huh?
Yeah, they use different words. I said, no. I said, my daughter just passed away last month, and her birthday's tomorrow. And they said, they stopped. I said, oh, what's the soul? We hate we even asked you that. I said, look, it's all right. So what I'm saying is,
just because people look gloomy all the time,
you don't know what their story. They might be going through something like this, or something worse, or something. Just everybody's got a need to have a prayer for them. So just,
or if they're snappy, maybe they're just having a worse day than you are.
Try not to be mean. Try to be, just stop.
Kindness.
If you're in the store, just stop. They've been rude to you. Stop. Say a prayer for them. Just keep going.
Kindness goes a long way, and that's how our little girl was. She was always kind to everybody. She tried to make friends with everybody, even when people didn't want to be friends with that person. She was kind of a lot like her mama in some ways, and her daddy in others. That was her corniness in front of you.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. But we know she's looking after us. We hear her all the time. We see her. We got little things. Each of our children have a trait from her that we notice. And
in certain ways, Lexie smiles. She looks just like her. There's things that Macie does that reminds me of her.
There's stuff that William does. He screams in the car seat before we get home.
Maddisen didn't like the car seat
when she was little.
And Mackenzie, there's certain looks she'll do, or certain phrases she'll say, or if she turns around, I could see Maddisen.
Let me tell you.
You need to stay strong for your children, have faith for your children.
She touched and changed so many lives in that 12 years that she was on this earth.
And people even after that didn't know her.
Yeah, the people that really didn't know her. But that some people can't do in a lifetime.
To go through something, you have to have someone strong beside you, and he don't think he's strong enough, but he's pretty strong enough for me.
I couldn't keep her safe, couldn't protect her, but I don't want to protect her from God.
Yeah, but someone told us that, and do you want to protect your children from God? Like,
from heaven?
From heaven? No. She went to where she had to go. It's my new thing. Please capture every moment, because you never know the value of a moment till it becomes a memory. And those memories are few and far between when you don't capture them. But thank you for stopping by, and hopefully this video won't be too long. And if you made it to the end, we appreciate it. Please subscribe to us, give us a big thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. And we're going to try to do more inspirational type kind of stuff, like our tailgate talk we do here. But a lot of people want to know how we're doing, and it's going to be okay.
You'll always hurt. There'll always be a hole in your heart. It's like you got shot.
A piece of it's gone.
I better note, we released balloons on her cemetery at her grave.
Oh yeah.
There's still, we left one balloon
Mackenzie.
For her, and it's on her bed, and it still has helium in it.
And that's what's crazy. It shrunk, but it's still blown up as big as... I'll have to show y'all.
I'm my earhead, so she's
But a year later, it's still holding air. We're going to show it to you in a little bit. Okay, y'all. Here's the balloon. This is her bed. She loves books. Dust is collecting on her books. I haven't even took... This is the clothes. Some mothers don't know. The kids have put some stuff up here. But this is the clothes she wore that night. The day before she died. And I've actually kept them on her bed. I just can't seem to move them. But she played the flute. And there's the balloon. It's about the size of my hand. It was bigger, but it's still air in it. Still sitting there. Saying life's gonna go on. It's gonna be okay.